A New York man convicted of killing an Augusta man took his case for a post-conviction review to Maine's highest court today.
35-year-old Aubrey Armstrong was convicted of murder in 2018 for the death of Joseph Marceau in 2015. He was also convicted of robbery.
His initial sentence of 30 years was thrown out by the Maine Supreme Court in 2019 for violating the double jeopardy clause. Armstrong was again sentenced to 30 years, but that was also thrown out because of a technical issue.
In 2021, Armstrong was sentenced for a third time to 30 years again. In July of this year, the post-conviction court denied Armstrong's request for a post-conviction review because the deadline to file had passed.
Today, the Maine Supreme Court heard Armstrong's appeal of that decision. Armstrong's lawyer said due to his lack of counsel, Armstrong should have been able to file this petition after its initial due date.
The state says nowhere in his petition does Armstrong ask for this consideration, and there were no circumstances that prevented him from submitting the petition on time.
This case, Your Honors, is a complete mess. Mr. Armstrong filed a petition for post-conviction review on April 10, 2023. What happened thereafter has denied Mr. Armstrong the assistance of counsel to properly frame his post-conviction claims and has resulted in no meaningful review of any of those claims.
PCR Court committed no clear error by summarily dismissing Mr. Armstrong's second petition for post-conviction review. Title 15, Section 2128-B1 plainly states that there is a one-year limitations period for filing a state petition for post-conviction review.
The justices will issue a decision at a later date.